OVERMUGGED is I teach lower secondary. Okay, I have 2 regular students over here, a few online over here. You cannot see the screen. What do you mean you cannot see the screen? My screen is here. Anyone else cannot see the screen, or can anyone see the screen? Can, right? So maybe it's your settings. Go and see your settings. Okay, thanks. All right. Okay, for those who cannot see the screen, go and figure out what's wrong, because confirm can see one. It should be your settings ready. Okay, so a bit of background over here. I think I have a mix of students over here, G2, G3, and IP students as well. Okay, I probably have some Sec 2s as well, maybe Sec 2 IPs as well, right? So just a bit of background. I am a bachelor's in mathematical sciences, so I studied math in my university lah. Okay, abstract math. Okay, and I did a bit of H3 mathematics background, basically JC at the highest level lah. Okay, but I flunked the subject. Okay, it's just for fun one. Okay, that one don't worry. That one is just for fun. Okay, now some things that I like to do, I play Mobile Legends. Yes, okay, I play Mobile Legends, I play Minecraft. Last night I was playing for 1 hour lah. Okay, I climb mountains, I cook, I love Miffy. So for those who are over here, right, I have a Miffy bag with a Miffy dog, and I have a Miffy water bottle inside. And today I'm wearing rabbits. Okay, for those who are online, sorry, I forget to on my face. This is my bag. Okay, what is your main in Mobile Legends? Ruby. I play Ruby. Okay, now sometimes I also like to sing karaoke lah. Okay, but usually after I sing karaoke, my voice will be gone one. So one other thing I like to do, right, is randomly find math problems to do. Okay, so this is a little bit of myself in photos. Okay, now anyone here watch Demon Slayer? Okay, this is a Demon Slayer meme lah. Okay, but probably not a joke for Sec 1s. This is a joke for Sec 2s. Okay, now you have Mr. Mustache over here, right, with a very nice mustache that looks like a quadratic equation, which once again is a Sec 2 joke. Okay, now any fans of Taylor series over here? Ew, wow. Don't worry, I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, but I'm a fan of Taylor series. Okay, Taylor series is on the left. Okay, Taylor Swift is on the right, but I like Taylor series more. Okay, now okay, I'm gonna lay some ground rules first. Okay, first thing first, I want to keep my chat more pertaining towards lesson materials. Okay, so if I do not want to see vulgarities or anything like that inside. Okay, number 2, let's respect each other lah. Okay, we are here to learn. We are here to make everyone's experience positive. So I think one thing is some of you all were late today, right? So that has caused a bit of disruptions. So I hope not to see that again in future events lah. Okay. Now, this is just some statistics. I'm not going to bother showing all these. Okay, but you can have a look. Okay. But one thing I will say lah is that our center really grow very fast. Okay. And of course, we do produce results. Okay. I think for my students who are here, y'all can testify that, hey, our tutors here are really very caring. They really care about y'all. And at the same time, we also ensure that we push your results and your knowledge lah. Okay? I mean, for me, I'm not result oriented. I'm more knowledge oriented. Okay. Now, of course, this one later lah. Okay. So, on a personal note, okay, I'm the kind of person that really focuses on the students' learning rather than the results lah. Okay, so that's my style. I really don't care if y'all get A1, A2, 1. Okay, my focus is more that y'all improve and y'all really feel that y'all improve in yourself. That is more important. Okay, of course, different people got different expectations, but that is my expectations, right? So for today, right, we'll be going through 5 different topics. I may not cover all the questions, okay, but I will do my best to cover as much as I can. So for those, right, okay, for those, let me see. We have LCM, HCF, we have geometry, we have polygons, and that kind of stuff. So I'll cover as much as I can. I will let you try some questions over here. Now, before I begin, last call, anybody don't have worksheet or don't have the booklet, please raise your hand. For those who are online, yeah, unfortunately, the capacity is 100 lah. So there will be a recording. Okay, this one, there will be a recording uploaded later. So they can view the recording later. Okay, I'm sorry about that. This one is really not within my control. Yeah. Okay. Now, those who have any concern, network issue or what, don't worry. Okay, we will have a recording online lah. Okay, I will upload as soon as I'm done with this. Okay, so don't worry. Right? Now, let's start with LCM and HCF, your factors and multiples are. Okay. Now, this is probably most people's first topic. Okay. And so, the key things that you all need to know, right? Okay. One is prime factorization. Okay. And when you do your prime factorization, right, you will always do it in order. So, for example, your prime numbers, right, they are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, that kind of stuff, right? Now, I'm going to share with you one trick to test whether a number is a prime. So, take, for example, 29. Okay? To check whether 29 is a prime, you take the square root of it. Okay? And then you go and calculate the square root. So, for the benefit of those who don't have a calculator or what, I am going to take out a calculator for you guys. Okay? So, square root 29 is equals to 5.385. Okay, the next thing to check, right, is to look for all primes before 5. So, for example, square root of 29, right, the prime numbers, right, are 2, 3, and 5. If none of these numbers, right, divide 29, then 29 is a prime. But if at least one of these numbers can divide 29, right, then 29 is not a prime. Okay, I think this is clear. Huh? So 29 clearly cannot divide by 2, cannot divide by 3, and cannot divide by 5. So therefore, 29 is a prime. Okay, this is just a simple way to check whether a number is prime. But usually, you don't need to know this too much. I just thought I'd share this with you all. Okay, now, one very important fact I think you guys can take note of. Okay, for the first 100 numbers, okay, as long as cannot divide by 2, 3, 5, and 7, right? Confirm prime. Okay? As long as cannot divide by 2, 3, 5, 7, right? Confirm prime. This is proven using the square root method. Okay? I tested out physically for everybody. Confirm cannot be prime. It's confirm prime lah. Okay? I hope that's clear. So first 100 numbers cannot divide by any of these, right? Confirm is prime. Okay? Prime. So, the main thing that you are looking out for is things like HCF, LCM. Okay? HCF stands for highest common factor. LCM stands for lowest common multiple. Now, I have a simple acronym for you guys to remember, right? Because I know sometimes you all will get confused between whether I put this. Let's list them out. So, take for example, the first number over here is 2 times 3 to the power of 2 times 5. The second number, right, is 2 cubed times 3 times 7. Okay, notice how I group all the same prime numbers at the same row. So 5 and 7 don't match, I separate them out like this. So that it's easy for me to compare. Now, simple acronym for you to remember. HCF, which power you choose. LCM, which power you choose. Correct? So for HCM, I have a simple trick for you guys. HCF stands for HCF choose fewer power. Not wrong, right? So choose few means you choose the smallest power. So in this case, power 1 is the smallest. Power 1 is the smallest. Right? Compare the prime number 2, right? The power is 1 and 3, right? You will choose a smaller between 1 and 3. Okay? For base 3, right? The powers are 2 and 1. Okay? So you will choose the smallest power. For 5, there is no common factor, right? So you do not need to include it in. For 7 as well, there is no common factor, so do not include in. Therefore, your HCF is 6. And for LCM, right, the acronym you can remember is LCM choose more or choose most. Means you choose the highest power, right? So in this case, you choose 3. 2, 5, 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 2, 5 to the power of 1, and 7 to the power of 1. You choose those that has the highest power. Okay? Okay, can. So now, with that, you just follow the example over here lah. Okay, once you choose already, right? You take the product. That will be your HCF and your LCM respectively. Can? Okay, some of you look like you see this for the first time. Okay, so is it okay for you guys? Okay, like that is okay lah. All right, nice. Okay, I think I'm able to allow more participants to join already for those who are online. Okay, I already asked for the cap to be lifted up. Okay, now let's take a look at squares and cubes. This one is, I will just roughly touch on this lah because there's examples, right? So for rounding, for perfect squares, right, your powers must be a multiple of what? Anyone? 2, right? Okay, can? Basically, why is 49 a prime number? Because it's written as 7 squared. The power is 2. Okay? And 144, this number very famous, right? Okay, 144 can be written as what? Okay, wait Okay, it can be written as 2 to the power of 4 times 3 to the power of 2. Notice the powers are all even number. Okay, Sarah, can? You get? Okay, good. So these powers are all even. Therefore, 144 is a square number. Okay? Now, then if you want to have a cube number, what do you expect all the prime powers to be? Shane? Cube number, right? Okay, a cube means to the power of what? 3, right? So you need all the powers of every cube number to be a multiple of 3. Very good. Okay? So 729 is 9 cube, but can also be written as 3 to the power of 9. Okay? Am I right? No. 3 to the power of 6. Later your school will say teacher teach wrong. Okay? 3 to the power of 6. So 6 is a multiple of 3. Therefore, it is a cube number. Okay? So the next question is, how do I know when is perfect cube, when is perfect square? Okay? Or how do I make them perfect squares or perfect cubes? This one I will touch and go later. But basically, if the powers, right? Okay, you take a look at this one. Okay? 3, 2, 9, and 2. These powers, right? This is clearly not a square number because not all the powers, right? Okay, see the online answers also very good. Okay, not all powers are multiples of 2. So this is clearly not a square number. So the thing is, how do I make it a square number? If I want to multiply by something, right? Okay, I need this power to be high. Set what? You're coming later, right? You're coming later, is it? Take me a while. See you later. Okay, so you need to multiply by something, right? Okay, so the trick I tell students, right, is if you're multiplying by something, right, you round up those that are not multiples of 2. So for example, 3, right, you round up will become 4. 9, you round up, you become 10. So you need 1 more 2 and 1 more 7. So then your K will become 14. Okay, as follows over here. Now, if you want to divide by K instead, right, you are taking away the numbers. So instead of rounding up, you round down. Okay, so I tell students that you just round up and round down the powers. Simple. Okay, same for cube numbers. Okay, you will round up to the nearest multiple of 3, or if you divide, you round down to the nearest multiple of 3. Okay, you all roughly get it, can already. I don't need you to understand fully now. I will show you in the examples. Can? Steady? And so let's move on. Okay, if anyone got doubts, please let me know. Okay. Okay, now find in index notation the square of these two numbers. Now, whenever you want to apply a square, right? So take for example, you want to square a number, right? Okay, it has the same effect as all powers times what? Times what? If you want to square a number, right, the powers will become times 2. Correct? So if you have 7 to the power of 6 times 19 to the power of 3, right? This thing over here, okay, you basically need to square it, right? It will have the same effect as 6 and 3, right? You times 2. So your final answer will be 7 to the power of 12 times 19 to the power of 6. That's it. Very fast one. Okay? You can take this down, huh? Okay, so always remember when you're squaring a number, you are multiplying the power by 2. Multiplying the power. Okay? But what happens when you take the cube root? Okay? So the meaning of cube root, right, is the reverse operation of cube. Okay? So cube, right, means the power will times what? Sure, y times 2. Okay. So you want 7, right? To square it, you need to multiply by itself, what? Correct? So doesn't that mean the power becomes 7? Doesn't that mean it will become 7 to the power of 2? Okay? If you take 7 times 7, right, you want to square it, means you're multiplying by 7 times 7, what? Okay? If here you got 2 7s and here you got 2 7s, total how many 7s you have? 4, right? So isn't squaring a number the same as multiplying the powers? Okay, you get the idea? Roughly that's the idea lah. Okay, so for part B, right? Okay, to find the cube root of the answer in part A, I need to take the cube root of 7 power 12 and times 6, 19 power 6. Okay, now when I want to cube the number, right, the power will times 3. If I want to cube root, do I times 3 or do I divide by 3? Divide, very good. So the 12 divided by 3 times 19 power 6 divided by 3. My answer will become 7 to the power of 4 times 19 to the power of 2. That's it. This is a very simple question to answer. Okay? The fact that it comes out for an exam question, I feel very happy. 3 marks. Okay? I always tell my students, 3 mark must take. You cannot lose marks to this kind of things. It's free one. Okay? Now let's move on to the next part. Okay, before that, anyone got any doubts? Yeah, leave for a while. Anyone got any doubts? Yes. What you need? Oh, you want to copy down? Okay. Hey, Raphael, you understand? Let me know that you understand. All right, great. Solid. Okay, the rest can, I move on, Okay. Now, for this example, okay, written as a product of prime, right? 648 is equals to 2 to the power of 3 times 3 to the power of 4. Okay? The number 648k is both a perfect square and a perfect cube. Guys, let me ask you a question. If you are a perfect square, right? Okay, then your powers must be a multiple of 2, right? If you are perfect cube, your powers must be a multiple of 1. So that means to say, you must have both multiple of 2 and multiple of 3. What kind of numbers are both multiples of 2 and 3? 6. Okay, let me explain. You list out multiples of 3s, right? Now, among these numbers, right, which are multiples of 2 as well? 6, 12, 18, so on and so forth, right? Okay? But these numbers are multiples of 6. Okay? So if you all cannot figure out what a multiple of 2 and 3 means, right, you just list them out and then figure out from the pattern. Okay? Can, Okay. So therefore, I need to round up these numbers to the multiple of 6. Okay? So for the powers of for the base 2 to the power of 3, right? Is this enough? Is 3 enough or not? No, right? So how many more do I need? To the nearest multiple of 6. Okay? I got three twos, right? How many more I need to make up power of 6? I need 3 more, right? Okay, I currently got 3 2s, right? I need 3 more. Okay, need 3 more, right? So I need 2 to the power of 3. This will go into my K, right? Then for 3 to the power of 4, right? Currently, I got 3, 3, 3, 3. Is this a multiple of 6? No, right? So how many more 3s do I need? 2 more. Okay, you just write 2 more. So I need 3 to the power of 2. So therefore, K is equals to 2 to the power of 3 times 3 to the power of 2. Okay, the answer will be 72. Okay? Oh, my bad. Yes. Not checking, sorry, not checking chat. Is I log in? Sorry. Oh my god, so hot. Okay, can Okay, let's leave this for a while. Okay, by the way, right, for those who want to challenge yourself, right, I have some extra questions at the back. So you can go ahead and do if you all are bored. Okay, I left like a few questions for you to do. Okay. Why did power 3 turn into 4? What do you mean? It turned to 6, what? It didn't turn to 4, what? Yeah, power 4 turned to 6, right? So you need how many more? You need 2 more, what? Right? I need this amount, I need this amount. Okay? Well, the chat so hot. Okay, let me move on first. Okay? Okay, you all roughly get it, right? Okay? Now, next part over here. The highest common multiple of 2 numbers is 16. The lowest common multiple of the same 2 numbers is 5760. Okay? One of the other numbers is 640. Find the other number. Okay? So for this type of question, right? 4 times 4 is 16, but cannot be divided by 3. It has nothing to do with that one. Okay, I'll come back to that later, can? Okay. Now, for this type of question, right? Usually, the question will tell you, for example, they'll tell you that HCF is, they will ask you to find HCF, right? But this question, they give you the HCF. Okay? So you need to write that one down first. Okay? And LCM is 5760, right? So in this instance, okay, right, whenever you're given this information, right, the first thing that I will encourage you guys to do, right, is ask yourself, for this topic, right, what do you all only learn? You only learn 3 things. Prime factorization, HCF, LCM, and squares and cubes, or the cube root, square root version. Okay, so these are the only things you all learn. So the approach to this, right, okay, the first thing I think of is, can I make it into prime factorization? Okay, literally, that's all you learn, right? So you can just try to work something out. Okay, prime factorization. So this one is 2 to the power of 4. This one is 2 to the power of 7 times 3 to the power of 2. Wrong. Wait, let me see again. Okay, 5760 is, I think 2 to the power of 7 times 3 to the power of 2 times 5. Okay? So, then they tell you one of the numbers, right, is 60. Okay, find the other number. So I have 2 numbers, right? 640, I need to decompose as well. So 2 to the power of 7 times 5. Okay? The problem is I need to find the other number. Okay? So first thing y'all can do, right, is ask yourself, for HCF, right, I need to choose the smallest power. Okay? HCF choose fewer, right? So I need to choose the smallest power. So if you look over here, I got 2 to the power of 4. Okay? And I look at my 2 numbers. I got 640 and I got question mark. Okay? So one of these 2 numbers, right, must contain a 2 to the power of 4. Right? The problem is 640 doesn't have 2 to the power of 7, 2 to the power of 4. It has 2 to the power of 7. which means the second number must have 2 to the power of 4. You have to go somewhere, right? Okay, so that you can have a HCF, right? So that part we settle already. The next part we must settle, right, is your LCM part. Okay, LCM, right, you have 2 to the power of 7, which matches your this one. So you have already, right? You need to have 5, which is over here as well. Okay, but you are also missing a 3 to the power of 2. This is missing. Okay, so what we are going to do, right, is we need to multiply this one by 3 to the power of 2. Okay, so that we ensure that we have LCM. So therefore, this number over here, okay, is 144. Okay, now this is the long way. There is a shortcut. Okay, but I don't know whether your schools will teach you all this or not. I will tell you the shortcut. Okay, so this type of question, if you all really cannot write, the shortcut is whenever you are given a number and you are given HCF and LCM, right, there is a formula you can use. Okay, so this formula, right, is called HCF times LCM equals to the product of 2 numbers. Okay, that is the new formula that you can use. If you are very desperate, if you don't remember how to do it. So HCF, right, in this question is 16. LCM is 7560. Okay, and between A and B, right, we know one of the 2 numbers. Okay, one of the 2 numbers is 640, right? Therefore, B would then be 16 times 5760 divided by 640. This will also give you 144. That is a shortcut. So I think this is something new for you guys, right? This is for this type of question. When you're very desperate, you can use this. Try not to use that, because I think for mainstream schools, I don't think you'll learn this, right? Okay? Can? Have you seen this before? Never. So you also first time see this, right? Okay, can. This is an official formula. Okay, it's legit one. But the proof is very complicated. Oh. So I'm doing this for a while. Shortcut. Okay? You okay there? Met you, right? Okay, I'll leave this for a little longer. You okay there? Okay. Okay, for the rest, right, there's a try yourself, right? You can, later. Okay, let's look at the next question. Can I move on first? Okay, I move on first. Now, for work example 1.4, please flip to the next page, okay? Okay, work example 1.4. Now, 2 numbers are written as a product of their prime factors. Okay, we have A and B, right? Okay, so they give you the prime factorization already. Okay, now, find the largest integer, which is a factor of both A and B. Now, when you see this, right, this type of phrasing is not very common. So, you need to try to figure out what you are tested on. But once again, let me remind you all, this topic only got 3 things. Prime factorization, HCF, LCM, and squares and cubes. That's it. There is nothing special. So one of the concepts must be tested over here. Okay, you see the word largest, right? What do you think of? What word associates with largest? Biggest. What else? Highest. What starts with highest? Highest common factor. Thank you. Very good. Okay, so the concept I'm testing you over here is HCF. What humongous, you funny. Okay, so we are looking for HCF. And how do I know it's HCF? Because this number must be a factor of both A and B. So that's where you know it's a HCF question. Sometimes you must be able to interpret this kind of phrasing. Okay? So to find the HCF, right? Ask yourself. HCF is HCF choose fewest. So you choose the smallest power. So in this case, I got 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 6, right? Which of these 2 has the smallest power? Ihan. Matt. Right, thank you. Okay, next one, okay, between 3 to the power of 12 and 3 to the power of 8. Let me random, Travis, which two has the smallest power? Base 3, 3 to the power of 8, right? Okay, so I will highlight these two, right? Now, next, between 5 and 7, right? Okay, is 5 a common factor of both numbers or not? No, right? So you don't actually need to include it in. How about 7? No, also, right? Therefore, your HCF, right, is just 2 cubed times 3 power of 8. The answer is, some of you are going to evaluate, Funny. Okay, read the question. The question asks you to leave your answer as a product of prime factors. Do you simplify it? No, please ensure, thank you. Please ensure that you leave it in this form. Please don't go and put equal to what? 52488. You put 52488, I give you 0. Okay? Therefore, next one, find the smallest integer k such that a times k is a multiple of b. When you see this, and when you see smallest, what concept am I testing you on over here? Any takers? Jiaxuan, you want to try? Smallest integers k such that a times k is a multiple of 8. Multiple of b. Am I testing you on squares and cubes or not? There's no measure of squares and cubes, right? Then what do I mention over here? So what am I testing you over here? If it's not squares and cubes, then it's what? You see multiple. What else you see? Smallest, right? So what am I testing you on? Very good. LCM. Okay, so you need to check. A times K equals to B, right? Is the LCM. Okay, you are looking for K being the LCM. Okay? But this question is a bit tricky. Okay, let me write down everything first. What is LCF? There's no LCF, guys. Okay, there's no lowest common factor. Technically there is, but we don't talk about it. Okay, so we write it down like that first. Okay, and ask myself, okay, what is the smallest k I need so that I ensure that this fella sits into here. Okay, so we use simple numbers. Okay, if you cannot work with big numbers, right, why don't we try smaller numbers? Okay, we try 4k equals to 12, right? Okay, or we can put, for example, 2 squared k equals to 2 squared times 3. Right? So from this example over here, right, what is my k? K is 3 lor. Smallest k is 3, right? At least must be 3, right? Okay. But then if you look at my example over here, right, how do you know that you need your k to be 3? Okay, the answer is both of them already got 2 squared, which means they are redundant. You don't need 2 squared, you only need 3. Okay, so we are using this simple example, right, to scale this back up over here. Okay, and if you look very closely, okay, this b over here, right, okay, in order for your b to be in order for the a times k to be a multiple of b, right, okay, you need 7 for sure. Okay, but do you need 5 or not? You don't need. Okay, you don't need 5. You're only concerned on this side. Okay, how many 3s you need? You have 3 to the power of 8, right? But on the other side, you have 3 to the power of 12. Okay, which means you are short of 4. Okay, wait. Okay, never mind. Let me just change my approach for this question. Okay. If you look over here, right? Okay, I changed my approach a bit. Okay, let's just follow this way. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. So I know my K must be 3 lah. Okay. So if I do the same thing over here, right? Okay, I can divide. Okay, I can divide 3 to the power of 12, 3 to the power of 8. Because there is some sort of redundancy, right? I know that 3 to the power of 8 is the so-called redundant one. So I'm going to divide. Okay, I'm going to divide as such. Okay, check your wait first. Okay, so basically, right, I have some redundancy over there. I'm going to get rid of it first. I'm going to simplify this over here because I don't need the 3 to the power of 8, right? So I'm cancelling common factors in this case. Then I got 3 to the power of 2 and I got 2 to the power of 6. Again, I got redundancy. I can cancel away, right? So I'm going to take out this over here. I'm going to simplify it. Okay, so I reduce a very complicated looking problem, right, into something that's a bit simpler. Okay, so for the chat, right, okay, let me explain what I'm doing. Okay, I have something on the left side, I got something on the right side. But if they are common, right, means I can take them away, right? Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking away things that are common so that they are not part of my K. I don't let them distract me. Okay, so I cancel away common factors, right, so that I get this. Okay, then now this becomes a very simple problem. Okay, because this part over here, right, okay, this part over here, okay, if I expand out, right, is 405K. Okay, on the other side, I have 56. Okay, and 405, right, and 56 have no more common factors already. Okay, there are no more common factors. So from my first step to the bottom step, y'all know what I'm doing, right? Okay, I cancel away all my common factors and I'm left with this. I know that 405 and 56 have got no more common factor. So ask myself, if 56 and 405 got no common factors, right, can I divide 405 by 56 or not? Cannot. So if you cannot divide by 405, right, it must divide by K. So therefore, I need K to be 56. I think that's the best way I can explain it. Okay? So, in a sense, right, I know I'm using LCM, but I think using LCM for this question is very confusing. Okay, so I take this approach that's a little bit different, a bit unconventional. I hope you all get it. Yes. Can I scroll up to A? Okay. Okay, it's not that 405K divided by 56 is 56. Okay, K can be anything, right? But the problem is what I did, right, was that I got left hand side equal to right hand side. Correct? But I got common factors, what? Agreed? So what I did was I cancel away common factors because, right, that has no influence in the value of K. Only when I divide, right, I cancel away all the common factors, right, can I then know, right, what multiples I need to have. So a very simple example, right, okay, I can give you, right, is 5K equals to 4. Okay, what value of K do I need, right, such that 5K is a multiple of, let's say, 4 lah, for example. Okay, the thing is, if, you see, 4 cannot divide by 5, right? So if 4 cannot divide by 5, 4 must divide by K lah. So your K must be a multiple of 4. Does that make sense? Okay, roughly you'll get it, right? But this is just an example. Okay, roughly okay? Okay, this question I think a bit hard to explain lah. Okay, but I will say that this is quite rare. This is very rare that it will come out. Okay, I'm sorry if I don't explain it very well, but I think I did my best already lah for this question. Okay, for those that have questions for this one, right, maybe I answer you later, okay? Okay, with that, for this question over here, the try yourself, right, y'all can go and try yourself later. Okay, I will move on to the other topics because I think it's more important. You think will come out very unlikely. That's why I think this question I don't bother too much lah. Okay. Now maybe I get you guys right. Okay, I give you all like 5 minutes, right, to try out this question. Okay, you take around 5 minutes to go and try this question. I'll take a look. Okay, for those that are online, okay, those who are online, you'll try out the question first. Those that are here, this question is very difficult. I'll be very honest. I don't even know why I choose this question. But if you ask me, I'm very unlikely to come out. Do the next one. Just do this page 5. Okay, so do page 5. Anyone will come over. Last picture of monster. Oh, you see better. Like that. Yeah. 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 The factor is that think about it. So, this game is too high power. Okay. Yes. Stop. Yes. How you doing? Oh, right. So that we go there. Let me read the chat. Anyone still need to read this question? Let me leave it. Let me leave this question for you guys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Deep problem. Deep problem. The question is sometimes they will not tell you that you need to draw a line. Right. Enough. All right. Around zeros or ball. Then wait on. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, 10 to 12 again. So many of us play Clash Royale. Why? Fun. Okay. For those who are okay, let's begin. Okay. So I think from what I see, most of you guys are able to do. Maybe a handful cannot do lah, or maybe just take a bit more time. Okay. So let's talk about it. Okay. Part one asks you right to express this as a product of prime. So I think it's very clear cut. Okay. For this one, right? Okay, some of you guys use tree method, some of you guys use whatever, right? For me, I use the ladder method. Okay, I think it's easy. Okay, but let me show you how I do it systematically with a calculator. Okay, so I start with 5400, right? Okay, the first number that I divide by is what? Number 2, right? Okay, I'll be a bit random and ask you all, who's the first prime minister in Singapore? Okay, second? Don't know. Wrong. Correct. Go Chotong is correct. Who's the third one? Who's the third one? Who's the fourth one?
Lawrence Wong.
I expected some brain rot answer lah, but yeah, Mr. Lawrence Wong lah. Okay. I will not say what is the brain rot answer. Okay. But anyways, Prime Minister got ranking 1. So your numbers also got ranking. Is the 500 supposed to be 5400? Oh yes, I didn't realize this. Yes, thank you for the spot. Oh, sorry, I had some issues with my screen. Wait a while. Okay, so first thing first, right? Okay, this must be written as a product of primes. Okay, you will take 5400 divided by the first prime number. Okay, so you have 2700. Next thing, ask yourself, is this still a multiple of 2? Okay, to check if a number is multiple of 2, right? You just check the last digit. Is the last digit even? If yes, then proceed, divide by 2 again. Okay, in my calculator. Okay, then I'll get 1350. Repeat as many times until you get a number that cannot be divided by 2. Then the next thing to ask yourself, can this number be divided by 3? If yes, please proceed. Divide by 3 first. Okay, so you divide by 3 now, you get 225. Okay, 225 can divide by 3? Yes or no? Yes, so I divide again, I get 75. Now notice how I'm just pressing equal sign. I'm not pressing anything else, just equal sign. Okay, so I repeat again, can. Now next thing, 25 cannot be divided by 3 anymore. But I know that it's a square number, right? It's 5 squared, right? So I will write 5, 5, 1, finish. So then you count. How many 2s do I have? 3 2s, right? How many 3s do I have? My Clash Royale buddies, how many 3s do I have? 3, very good. And then how many 5 do I have? 2, very good. Okay, so that is my answer. Okay, next thing. Find the number that divide 240 and 5400. Okay, sorry, typo there. Please help me to correct it. So what you need to do is to compare the numbers side by side. Okay. Put the numbers as such. Okay, then ask yourself, largest number that divide. What concept am I testing you guys on? HCF, very good. Okay, you see largest divide. So this is a HCF problem. Sometimes reading between the lines, right, you'll be able to know whether it's a HCF or LCM. Okay. I changed already. Okay, so for HCF, right? HCF choose what? Fewest power. Okay, so you will have this one, and this one as your answer. Now, did the question ask you to leave it in exact form or not? Yes or no? Are you supposed to expand out? No, so the answer is like that. That is your answer. Okay? And for part 2, right, find the smallest integer p for which 240p is a perfect square. Okay? So for this to be a perfect square, right, what must you do? 240, you must write it as this, right? And what did I tell you all? Whenever you want to find perfect square, just round up to the nearest multiple of what? 2. So how many? So you see, 2 power of 4, right? I got 4. Enough or not? Okay, 3 to the power of 1. Enough or not? Then how much more do I need? 1 more. Very good. So P is 3 times. Now, next number, 5. How many more I need? How many more 5s I need? 1 more. Very good. So answer is 15. Okay? This one never say leave it in product of primes. Please go and simplify it. Okay? Don't be that one fella. Okay. Good. I will leave this for a minute. We move on to the next topic already. Okay, 30 seconds. The next part I will teach you all is on polygons. Okay, now how many people hate polygons? That's like half the people over here. Raphael hates polygons. Me. How many me's do I have? I said, okay. Cylinder prism also suck. Sorry, cylinder prism not this topic. Hey, but okay, for cylinder and prism, right? If y'all need, right, y'all can go and watch my Sept 3 E-Math recording. I think I have present if my recording goes up lah. Okay, I taught that part in my Sept 3 class, so can go and look out for it. Okay, if not, some other tutor will have covered that lah. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. Now for polygons, right, there is quite a few formulas that you need to remember. Okay, you only need to remember 2 and a few very common sense things lah. Okay, now first thing first, the number of sides equals the number of angles. Okay, second thing, what is interior angle and what's exterior angle? Now, if you all remember your triangles, right, this is an interior angle because it's interior of a shape. Then what's the exterior angle? Thank you, outside of a triangle, right? But is it limited to triangles? No, it can also be a pentagon. What? Oh, yes, America. Yes. Luckily, I went to research on it. If not, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so those who don't know, right, that in America, there's this thing called pentagon. Maybe you want to tell them more about it, but the ministry one, right? Okay, so if this is your interior angle, right, your exterior angle will just be a straight line draw out from the interior angle. That is your exterior angle. Which means, because it's a straight line, right, that links your interior and your exterior, right, they are angles on the straight line. Therefore, they add up to 180. Okay, now the remaining 2 part over here, I have quite a few formula. I only need you all to remember these 2. Okay, common sense number 1, sum of exterior angle. This one, all you have to do is to draw a diagram. Okay, this is an equilateral triangle, right? And all of their interior angles are 60. Therefore, their exterior angles are what? Like, my guys at the back, what is my exterior angle for this? Very good, 120. Okay, so all of them 120, 120. They add up to what? 360. Now, if I draw a square, I open up. What do I get? I got 4 right angles, right? I add up. What do I get? Yes, what's so funny? What, this one? Then what? So these 4 right angles, right? I add up. What do I get? 360 again. So the sum of interior angles is always 360. Okay? This one, right? For those who know the proof, y'all will know the proof. For my regular students, y'all will know I have proved this for y'all before. Otherwise, right, no choice, just memorize it. Okay? You just need to know, right, it's always the number of sides minus 2 times 180. Okay, why minus 2? Because a triangle got 3 sides. But how many triangles is inside this triangle? 1. How many triangles can you fit inside a square? 2. Therefore, it's always n minus 2. Okay, this n minus 2 is referring to the number of triangles. Then you multiply by the sum of angles in the triangle. That will be your angles in polygons. Can? So 2 things to remember. N minus 2 times 80 is the sum of interior angles. Sum of exterior angle is 360 no matter what. Okay? If you have a regular polygon, right, just divide by the number of sides. Is there an error for part B? What part B? CAP, no error. Okay, it's legitimate. Hey, no worries for those who are late. Okay, now the diagram shows a regular hexagon and a regular octagon. Okay, so they even tell you which one is the hexagon and which one is the octagon. Now, hexagon, right? I think of the B, that thingy. So it's 6-sided. Octagon, right? Starts with letter what? OCT, right? O, right? But then got CT behind, right? What word rhymes with what word starts with OCT? Octopus, right? Octopus got what? 8 tentacles lah. So total got 8 sides. Okay? So the question asks you to find CBP. CBP is over here. Okay? Now for this question, what are the approaches you can take? Now, some of you will tell me, this is angles at a point. Right? So you go and find this, you go and find this. But these are what kind of angles? Interior or exterior? Exterior? Interior. Right? So interior angles, right, you need to use what formula? N minus 2 times 180, go and plug A, go and solve, then go and take 360 minus those two angles, right? Very long. I got shortcut. Guys, if you draw a line over here, what does these two become? These two are exterior angles. So, left side, 360 is the sum of exterior angles, right? How many angles do I have on a hexagon? How many sides do I have for a hexagon? So how many angles do I have for a hexagon? Also 6. Your triangle is called 3 angles. It's called triangle because of triangles. Hexagon is 6 sides, also got 6 angles. Clear? Okay. So if you got 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? You will divide by 6. Over here, you got 8 sides. You take 360 divided by 8. You add them up together. Okay? Your answer will therefore be 360 divided by 6 plus 360 divided by 8. Okay? So the answer will become 105. Okay? Now, some of you ask me part 2 got typo or not, right? Okay, so part 2 CAP. Now, CAP got no typo. You just need to open your eyes a bit. Okay, so let me erase this diagram over here first. Okay, and let's draw out the lines that makes CAP. Okay, so what do you notice about CAP? Now, CAP is this whole angle over here. But it's impossible for me to calculate this directly, right? So what can I do? Instead of this whole angle, right, I split it into these two parts. I split into the respective shapes. Okay? So now I need to look for CAB and BAP. Okay? But how do I find CAB first? Let's take a look at this one first. How do we find this? Okay? Is there anything special about CAB? Isosceles, yes, I see the chat. Isosceles. Okay? Hannah, you don't understand what, you let me know. Okay, so CAB, right, is isosceles. Right? But this angle over here is your interior angle, right? Agreed? You don't understand part A. Okay, later I come back to this, to part A again. Now, this angle over here, right? Okay. Can I find this angle over here? How to find? Do I already know the exterior angle? Is what? The exterior angle for this is 60, what? Okay, this side is 60. Okay, now for Hannah, let me explain again. Okay, if you draw out the hexagon, right, this part is your exterior angle. Okay? So because this is an exterior angle, right, and there are 6 exterior angles, right, the sum of exterior angle is 360. Therefore, one exterior angle is just 360 divided by 6. That's how I got 60. Okay, a bit better already? And since this is an exterior angle, right, what is the interior angle? So it's on the same line as the exterior angle, right? The interior and the exterior is on the same line, right? So your interior is 120. Okay? So for your exterior angle of CAB, right, it is equals to 180 minus your interior angle divided by 2. Because this is your isosceles triangle. Therefore, you will get wrong. You will get, what do I get? I should get 30. Right? And if you use the same reasoning to find BAP, you will get 180 minus its exterior angle. Okay, this exterior angle is 45. You divide by 2, you will get 22.5. Therefore, CAP, right, is the sum of both angles. Okay? Yeah, I see a lot of 52.5. Very good. I'm very happy. Okay? Anybody here don't understand? Okay or not? Okay, silence is content, You don't. What do you not understand? Why divide by 2? Okay, let me explain again. So this is an isosceles triangle, right? Can you see that it's an isosceles because it was part of the pentagon? Right? This is a regular pentagon, right? And I drew this line, correct? Can you see that this is a triangle with 2 equal sides? That's why this is an isosceles triangle. Okay? Since this part over here is 120, right? To find these two, I just take 180 minus that angle, I divide by 2. Is this better? Yeah. For this question, never ask, don't need. Okay, for polygon question, right, usually don't need to write. You only write it when it's a pure geometry question. Okay, but if you are scared, just write. Okay, brother, if you are scared, right, just write. Just write. It's fine. Will this be inside one exam? Confirm will be inside. Unless your school never teach. Okay, if there's any G2 students over here, should be, don't have, I think. Okay? Okay, I leave this long enough already. Let me move on. Now, work example 2.2 and 2.3. Okay, I will go through this part briefly. I will not spend too much time on this topic because this one is very small one. Okay, but ABCD is a pentagon. Okay, we want to find X. Okay, so this thing you need to ask yourself, this is a, what shape is this? 5 sides, right? So what is a 5-sided figure called? A pentagon. But is this a regular pentagon? No. Yes. Okay, correct. So basically, for any irregular polygons, okay, the sum of interior and sum of exterior formula still applies. You just cannot divide by the number of sides because the sides are not equal anymore. The angles are also not equal anymore. So if you have 5 sides, right, you apply your sum of interior angle. Okay, which is 5 minus 2. This is the number of triangles you can fit. Okay, let me do a quick demonstration. Why is it 5 minus 2? So if I cut like that, I will get 1 triangle. I cut like that, I get 1 more triangle. I get 3 triangles. That's why I get 3. Okay? Quick demonstration. But inside each triangle, you got 180 degrees, 180 degrees, and you got 180 degrees. Therefore, your formula is 5 minus 2 times 180. Okay? This is the sum of interior angles, right? This is also equals to 90, 132, 88, 123, and X. So I just need to add all of them up. Okay? What do I have now? I have a linear equation. Okay? So I thought I just share this with you. ever since you learn linear equation, you realize you always have something equal to something. Correct? That is linear equation. So what we are doing over here is solving a linear equation. Okay, and what you need to do, right, is to undo your step a little bit just to find x. Okay, so your x, right, needs to be all by itself. Everything else shift. Okay, you will get 107. Okay, clear? Okay, let's leave this for a while. Yes, you cannot see, Can see or not? Can I leave this for 30 seconds, Do we need to write proving? No need. For polygons, no proving involved. Hannah, have I answered your question? And Kaylin. Nice. Okay, sorry, I may miss a chat, so I try to read. Okay, I try to read. Okay, can I move on, All right, thank you. Oh yes, Yo Xuan, thanks. I missed you out, sorry. Didn't call your name out. Okay. For this one, right? Team claims that the exterior angle of a regular polygon cannot be 25. Is he lying or not? Why? Because Tim is an honest man, okay? But why is he honest? You need to prove it, right? You say he's honest, but you need to show evidence that he's honest, okay? So you must find out reasons why is he telling the truth. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, exterior angle, right? Okay, what is a fact about exterior angles? Anyone? What are facts about exterior angles? Funny, Yes, guys, always go back. Your facts, you only have a few facts to remember, okay? Sum of interior is n minus 2 times 180. Sum of exterior is 360, no matter what. So, sum of exterior is 360, okay? But, how many sides do you need to have for you to have 25? You write it like that first. Then you do your cross multiply. Okay, this is a fraction equals to a number, right? So for my regular students, you all will know I will tell you, you must cross multiply. Okay, but I will teach you a trick how to simplify this. Okay, so guys, you just imagine this guy can take an escalator go up. This guy can take an escalator go down. And number of sides. Okay, now I'm going to move the n up the escalator and 25 down the escalator. What will I get? I will have n on this side. I will have 360 divided by 20. Therefore, this will be equals to 14.4. Hey guys, I have 14.4 sides. Can or not?
No.
Cannot lah. Right? I cannot have half a side one. Okay, so since n is not an integer, therefore there is no regular polygon with exterior angle 25 degrees. Okay, this part just write short one can already lah. Okay, the most important one I need to see, right, is this part. Okay, but you must still justify a little bit lah. This is the full way. This is how I will justify. Okay, the keywords I must see. N is not integer. Therefore, no such polygon. Can already. Okay? Yes, Isaac, I see it. What 25? 25 what? Okay? Now, we will take a break after this. Okay, we'll take a break after this. Now, before I give you your break, for this topic of polygons, right, the remaining 2 questions you're going to try yourself. Okay, I want to spend more questions at the back because I think those questions are more important. Okay? Yeah, I'll leave this here, don't worry. Okay, so I will give you all 5 minutes. Go and your toilet break, whatsoever. Go and, I don't know, eat. Buy food ah. 5 minutes cannot really buy food eh. Oh, behind ah. Okay, can. Yes, okay. Okay, I'll give you a little bit more time. I'll give you 6 minutes. Okay? Toilet is on the right ah. On your left. Can I go to 2.2? Can. Yeah. Okay, can ah. Anyone else need anything? Please let me know. Okay, how are you? Say what? Now, 5 minutes from there lah. You tell me you can finish ML in 5 minutes ah? No way. You need a 3 minutes. Ah. I don't believe it. My fastest ah, 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Fastest. 6 to 7. Epic game very easy to push one one. All 5, nobody got the tower one. Is there booklet? Eh, no leh. I got no time for booklet today leh. Do I play ML? Yes. But you all slowly go and find me. I will not tell you my account. Why yes? You mythical glory ah? Sorry ah, not very high. I only honor only. What? I only honor. I not glory. I very small one. You can play 1v1 and someone else don't play with me. YSS main ah? I main Ruby, but I play Hanabi also. Glory is higher than honor. Glory is 100 star. Honor is only 50. Eh? Honor is 25. Glory is 50. Right? Immortal is 100. Hanabi dark system ah. You see my Hanabi is a different story one. My Hanabi is a different story, guys. Of course I sure. But the one time I play Inspire Hanabi by accident. I no title, sorry. I very noob one. I play for fun only. Yeah. No. What? You play AI. A1. A1 or A1. You better finish before the timer up ah. Ah. Classic ah. You funny ah. Classic later 20 minutes how? Surrender. Surrender. Delete. AFK. I don't care. How you all play until so good one? I also don't know. Try hard lah. Sorry, I'm not like y'all. I don't have a lot of time. Got skin make enemy intimidated. I got ruby skin also. I got hanabi skin also. My most expensive skin is the Swan skin. I think 80 bucks. No, I don't play Clash Royale. I don't play Clash Royale. I'm sorry. Find someone else. Hey, you sure this class is for learning or not? Everybody ask me about games eh. Got free lah. All free ah. Actually, mine mostly is free one. It's only cause that time the CC skin, right? I think very nice. I went to buy. That was the one few times I went to buy a skin. I don't pay to win, bro. Oh, but my that Swan skin, the $80 skin, is a friend give me one. I didn't pay for it. Yeah. Okay, after class start, I don't see any more ML already. You all better don't be ML here, ML there already. Now okay, now okay. What? You what? Lift up, close the app, finish. So how to not fail math? Come for my lesson lor. Expensive Okay. I mean, I personally came from a background where my what you call that, my allowance, or rather my situation not very well off lah. So I understand. But for this type of group, right? Okay, my best advice is, okay, do more practice. For math is really do more practice, right? But when you don't understand something, right, go and consult the people around you to help you for those topics. Okay? That's the best way I can explain that. That's the best way you can do. So I think for Sec 2, right, I failed my math. Yes, I failed Sec 2 math before. Okay, for my regular students, I think you saw my score, right? Okay, I got G7 also. So what I do was I really just drill on the questions, okay, just practice. But you must practice the same time and ensure you understand those type of questions, Okay, let's move on to geometry, triangles, and quadrilaterals. Okay. Okay, I want to spend more time on these questions first. Okay. I think for polygons, right, you all go back and practice yourself can already. Because you all understand the concept. And there's not much things for polygons. It's really like that only. Okay. But one thing I can tell you, okay, for the past two topics, right, like I say, very limited stuff. You only need to know things like, yes, what you want. This is crash course, yeah, correct lah. Yeah, I know. But you cannot expect me to cover difficult polygon questions here, right? But actually, that question that I showed just now, I kind of regret lah. It's too difficult already. That one is a question I will only go through in regular class. But I will not put that question anymore lah. I think it's better to go through simple questions. The A times B one, that one, the A times K equals to B. I think that one is not something I will do in the crash course next time. Yeah. It's a bit too crazy already. Okay, let's move on to these questions. So for those who are online, welcome back. Yay. Okay, so this one, right, okay, is probably everyone's favorite. Okay, who hates this topic? Who hates geometry? Oh, I see a lot less ahead. Who loves geometry? Then the rest, I don't know. Okay, it's me. For me, it's no div lah. Too easy already. Okay, but let me warn y'all, okay, I thought I will just preempt you guys a little bit. These properties, right, Sec 1, you need to know. Okay, and I think it's good that you guys are familiar with this, right? Because in Sec 3 or maybe Sec 2, your final paper, right? In Sec 3, right, you will be learning a lot more geometry properties. And your foundation here must be very good. Okay? So now, I think one thing that my students struggle with, right, for this, right? Okay? Yeah, I see a lot of people say it's okay. Now, what I will do is I will value add certain things. Okay? So for these 6 properties over here, right, is angle properties, right, that are made out of very specific conditions. Okay? So for the first 3, right, it is properties that's made out of lines, straight lines. Okay? So one thing I used to remember, right, is for angles on a straight line, I draw a straight line and I draw 2 lines. What letter is this? what? K, right? So there's one angle over here, one angle over here, one angle over here, right? They add up to what? 180. Okay? So your abbreviation is just angle on straight line. Okay? Just need to remember when you see a letter K, right? Or look like a K, right? You use angles on straight line. Okay? But not all the time you must use one. It depends on situation. Okay? Next one. Angles at a point. Okay? So this one, right? The letter I use is Y. Okay? Why? Because you got 1, 2, 3. Like that. Okay? And vertically opposite angles. What letter do you think I will use? What makes up vertically opposite angles? F is not. Okay, guys, for vertically opposite angles, right? How many straight lines do you need? 2. So if you only see one straight line, right? You do not think of vertically opposite angles. You need 2, right? So I'll make a cross shape. Okay? The 2 angles which are vertically opposite are equal. Okay? It's called vertically opposite because you draw a straight line downwards. That is vertically opposite. Okay? Now, the next 3 properties, right? When will you ever use this? Corresponding interior and alternate. When will you ever use this? When you see what? Alisa, when will you ever use these 3 properties? What's that? What is this? You don't know what is this? Parallel line, thank you. Okay, you only use these 3 if got parallel lines. Okay? If got no parallel lines, do you use it or not? No, don't even bother. Confirm useless one. Okay? So I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't see parallel lines, don't bother with these 3. Okay? For sec 1, you don't see, don't use. Simple. Just stick to this first. Okay? Because next time confirm don't have, but you can prove that there's parallel lines one. Okay? Now, these properties over here, right? Okay, before we go there, right? Okay? Corresponding angles is your letter F. Okay? So when you have an angle over here, you are able to shift down to here. So you use the letter F for corresponding. Okay? For interior, right? I use a letter C. But like that lah. Okay? So interior means it's inside of a shape that or of a figure that has parallel lines lah. Okay? So this is called interior because it's inside. Now, next one, alternate angle. What's the letter you always use? The Z, right? The Z. Okay, alternate can be like this. It can also be your degenerate, your deform G, deform Z, right? Like this. Okay. Now we move on to the following properties. Now sum of interior angles of a triangle, sum angle triangle. This one is confirmed very easy to use one. But the next one, confirm some of y'all don't like to use one. Okay. Exterior angles of a triangle equals of sum of interior opposite angles. What is this? Can I ask? Who never heard this before? What, all got hear before? Have anybody not good with this property? Oh, all can Online guys, this property y'all okay Anybody trade with this property or not? You're not very sure. Okay, come. I give you an example. This property is a very simple example. Now, assume you got this guy, you got this guy. Okay, guys, I ask y'all, what is this angle over here? This angle, right, is 180 minus A plus B, right? Because why? 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 Like, handsome. You don't turn behind. You. Angles in a what angle? What kind of angles? Any angles? You funny This angle is inside a triangle, right? It's sum of angles in triangle. Okay? Okay? Hey, hello. Excuse me. What's going on with chat? Hey, let me repeat again. Okay? I ask that everyone is respectful over here. Okay? If anyone try to be funny with me, right? Okay? I will really won't hesitate to let you out. Okay? Let me be very clear about this. Okay, now. This is angles in a triangle. Okay, I can find this angle over here, right? Then, what about this red color angle? How to find? Why? Why, man? Echo, echo, echo. Okay, very good. So it's angles on a straight line. Okay? This is, so basically, right, this angle is the same as these two angles add up together, correct? That is your exterior angles in triangle. Okay? So if you cannot remember this property, you can always just use sum of angle in triangle, and then you use angles on a straight line. Use both at the same time. Okay? So let me write this down. If cannot remember, just use sum of angle in wrong. Just use sum of angles in triangle plus angle on straight line. Okay, that's it. You can use these two together. Okay, next. Equilateral triangle, I think nobody use one, to be very honest. Next one, base angle in isosceles triangle. Basically, if you have an isosceles triangle as such, okay, and you remember the previous question, right? These two angles which are on a base will always be equal. That's why we call them base angle of isosceles triangle. Okay? If I write A plus B is the exterior angle, what is the proving? Exterior angle in triangle, it's over there. Okay? This is the property you're looking for. So the name of the properties on the left, right, corresponds to the abbreviation on the right. You only need to remember the right side one. Okay? Now, base of angle in isosceles settled already. Now, these two over here are quadrilateral specific. Okay? For the first one, you all know that a random quadrilateral is made up of how many triangles? Minimally how many? 2. You just one diagonal enough already, right? So one side got 180, one side got 180. Total add up is 360. This is from your polygons, okay? So the sum of interior angles, right, will always, the sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral will always be 360. Okay? So if you don't remember this number, right, it's from your polygons. Now, another specific one over here is your parallel lines. Okay? Now, as y'all will probably know, right, what angles equals to this? The opposite one, right? Agreed? Yes? Yes, okay? Some of you will tell me, this one, right, how to get to here? Can I use interior angle 2 times or not?
No.
Can. If you all forget this property, use interior angle twice. Can. Okay? So once again, if cannot remember, use interior angle times 2. Okay? But make sure you quote the angles. Okay? Okay, okay. Now, there are some steps over here, but I will show you in action. Okay, so let's move on to the next page. Now, there are some questions, right, which involves proving. Okay, so in this question, right, we are asked to prove that this quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys very simple questions. What makes up a parallelogram? All 4 sides are parallel. Okay, or rather to be specific, right, opposite sides are parallel. What else? Opposite edges are the same. Opposite angles. Okay, good. Okay, so these are some of the things that we need to look out for. Okay, now we have A, B, F, C, G, I, E, B, D, B, C, D, and E, F, G, H. They are all straight lines. Okay, so we have 4 straight lines over here. Okay, and then we are told that this is 72, this is 108. Now, the approach for this question is as follows. Okay, you roughly know, right, that this 72, if you move inside here, will become 108, right? Okay, and what is this angle over here? 108, right? Why? Why is this one, the on top one, why is that 108? Okay, angle on straight line, very good. Now, let's try someone else. Okay, let's try, I don't know everyone's name. Hi. Who say yeah? Come, you answer my question. Okay, why is this 108? Very good, vertically opposite angles. Okay, who say alternate angles are? Alternate angles with what? Where is alternate angles? Okay, wrong Okay, can. So there's no alternate angles, right? But what we know that these two opposites are what? Equal. Okay, so if they are, wait okay, if these two are opposite, right, then what shape must this be? These two are equal, right? They are opposite, right? So what shape must that be? That's it. That's it. Okay, so you need to quote the following. Now, let's write the reasons down properly. Okay, so first thing first, angle CBF is equals to 108 degrees. Okay, angle FGC is equals to 108 degrees as well. But if you write like that, will you get any marks or not? No. Make sure you all write reasons. So for the first one, you write angles on straight lines. Okay? I think some schools will be a bit more strict. So you will put adjacent angles on a straight line. Who here very strict one? Okay, so it must be adjacent. Okay, can. For me, I don't remember I need to put. I never put one. Okay? FGC, right? Reason is vert op angles. Okay, and once you establish that these two are opposite, right? Okay, you write your conclusion. Since CBF equals to FGC, therefore by opposite angles, opposite angles in parallelogram, right? You can conclude that BCGF is a parallelogram. Okay, so there's no adjacent angles over here. What you need to prove is this one. Okay. Now some of you will ask me, sure, these two opposite, does it mean the other two sides are confirmed opposite or not? You think about it lah. If you fix the two corners as 108, right? Can you move the other two angles or not? These two can move or not? If you fix this, can you move the other two? You can only open outwards one. Okay? Right. So that's it for this question. Okay, can I'll leave for a few more seconds. Cannot see. Where cannot see? Top or bottom? Okay, can. The number beside what? Like that. Can I move on? Can? Alright, let's go. Okay, next example over here. Now the diagram shows a quadrilateral ABCD. Okay. Now, let's look at the information. Okay. E is a point on BC. F is a point on AD. Okay, so I got BC. E is here. F is here, right? And they tell you that AB equals to AE. You think this information is important or not? No. When I tell you that two things are equal, you think I tell you for what? For fun? No, right? So there must be a use for it, right? So if you look very carefully, AB and AE are equal, right? What does it tell you? Yes, this is an isosceles. Okay, so always scrutinize what they are telling you, what information you can use. Okay, ABC is 63, AEF is 68. Okay, AGF is 87 and EFD is 131. Right? Now, showing the reasons clearly, right? Calculate BAE. Okay, so where is BAE? Now, for this type of question, always look out what you are finding first. Okay, which is on top. You are finding BAE, right? But BAE is part of what? The isosceles triangle. That's why I tell you, you must scrutinize what is happening around you. But you must know what you are finding first. Okay? A lot of times you guys get stuck at this kind of question is because you all don't know what you are finding. Okay? So for BAE, right? This is your on top. These two are your base. So therefore, BAE is equals to 180 minus 63 minus 63. Okay, the answer is 54 degrees. Reason is, what's the reason? Okay, they haven't said already. Okay, angle, what angles? You funny ah? It's not sum of angles. What do you need to prove? Matt. No, we are not using sum of, you're not really using just sum of angles, right? We are using base angles. Yes. This is the reason why the other side is also 63. Okay, then you add in your sum of angles in triangle. Now, I just want your first, answer key, I never put sum of angles in triangle. Okay, the most important one is your base isosceles. That one is the most important one. Okay, I think you want to play safe, just add in the other one lah. Okay. Now, AFE, right? Where is AFE? Okay, identify your AFE. Okay, AFE is over here. What can we make out of AFE? Yeah, straight line. Okay, so AFE is 180 minus 131 equals to 49 degrees. Right. And the reason is, let's hear from this side. What's the reason? Hey, that side don't talk, this side. My Mr. Green shirt. Very good, thank you. Okay, angles on a straight line. Okay, I will zoom out a little bit so that everyone can see. Online guys, you guys okay? Okay, next, we want to prove that AD is parallel to BC. Okay, so for this type of question, it's a proving question. Okay, this part I think more people struggle with it, so please listen up. Okay, especially my online kids. Now, how do you prove that AD is parallel to BC? When you see parallel, right, what properties do you think of? What properties involve parallel lines? Alternate, what else? Chat, you all got answer, you can write. Interior and what's the last one? No. Vertically opposite angle is not for parallel lines. Not rhombus also. Say already. There's one more. Thank you. Corresponding angles. Okay, not rhombus. Okay, so this is what I call CIA. CIA. CIA stands for corresponding, interior, and alternate. Okay, so your goal is to look for angles, right? We look at AD and BC first. Okay. Now, AD is over here, BC is over here. Your goal is to find a line, right, that connects between AD and BC. So there are quite a few lines we can choose. Here is one, here is one, here is one, here is one, here is one. Okay? But we need to use the information whereby we know some values there. Okay? We know this guy. We know this guy, right? Which guy? We know EBA, right? Okay, so how is that helpful for us? So you're using interior angles, right? But do you know the angles there or not? No, right? Okay, is it possible to find? How to find? Wait, EGC, okay. Then,
So you can find A.
uh-huh.
Then you find BA 180. Then you can find the top FAC, which is 180 minus 40.
Okay, that is one way. Okay, so you find this, right? This one can find easily, right? But is this very tedious? Can use, but very, very, very tedious. So I have a method too. Okay, so we don't use any of this. Okay, let's use something else. Okay, let's use this one that we just find. Okay, and let me explain. Okay, now for angles quite a question. Angle style of question. That's my. For angle style of question, right? You need to look out for a few things. Okay, your questions usually got flow one. Okay, so my last part, I just found that this is 49. Okay, so the side that I'm focusing on, right, is this line over here, this blue color line, right? Now, very clearly you can see that this is alternate. Agree or not? The thing is, can we find this guy or not? Do we know this guy? Yes. What is that? 63. Yes. And once you have that value already, right, you can prove already. Okay, so I'm going to use that method to prove it to you guys. Okay, let's write it down. So first thing first, angle AFE is equals to 49 degrees. And then angle FEC is equals to 180 minus 63 minus 68. The answer is 49 degrees. And the reason is angles on a straight line. Agreed? Since we have shown that these two are equal, right? They must be what kind of angles? So they lie on the Z, right? Yes. DFE is equals to, oh yeah, that also can. Okay. So by alternate angles. Oh, I wrote on the wrong side, sorry. Okay. Therefore, by alternate angles, angle AFE is equals to angle FEC, which proves that AD is parallel to BC. Can see now? Is it true that I paper last question is 10 marks? For Sec 1, depends. Maybe possible. Yeah. Yes, correct. What? Yes. No. The last question is a real world context. But it's only on some schools. Kaylin, the answer to that is yes. If you are using properties inside our base, what do you call that? If you are using properties inside isosceles triangle, you use base angle of isosceles triangles. Usually that's enough already. Okay? Can I leave this for a little longer? Drawing is 4. You mean construction, right? For Hwa Chong, I'm not very sure. But standard mainstream construction drawing is always 4 marks. Standard. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But most of the time I see is 4 marks one. Okay? Now can I move on to the last part? Your school is 3 marks. Okay. I don't know. How I know your school? You got variation one. Okay. What I can tell you is that different school got different marking scheme one. Or the way they do the questions. So I cannot really guarantee what kind of questions will come out. Okay? At least for Sec 1 I see too many patterns already. But Sec 2, I roughly know which question will come out. What? Sec 3 even more random. Sec 3 very random. Yes, will be uploaded, don't worry. Okay, come, can I do part D already? Do part C already. Now, calculate ACE. Okay, so let's look at the diagram over here, okay, and erase all the unnecessary drawing. Okay, so this is 49. I want to find ACE, the blue color one over here. Okay, so ask yourself, this blue color one, right, is in what shape? Okay, got many shape, right? Most notably, is probably in this shape. Okay, it can also be in this shape, right? But they say hence or otherwise, right? Means I can use my previous part. But what did I prove in the previous part? What did I prove just now? Right? Can? Okay, I just proved that AD is parallel to BC, which means this angle, right, is alternate to this guy. Can see or not? This guy is alternate to this guy, right? Therefore, if I can find this angle, right, I'm done already. So this angle, right, notice is what is in this triangle, right? And this triangle, what do I have? Exactly. That triangle, I already have two angles, so I can find the last one. Okay, so therefore, this one over here, FAC is equals to 180 minus 49 minus 87 equals to 44. This is sum of angles in triangle. Therefore, by alternate angles, angle ACE is equals to 44 degrees. Okay, that is your last part. Okay, there are of course other ways to prove it, but not so easy to prove. Okay, so I will not bother with that part. Okay. For those online, I already answered all the questions, right? Oh, I feel like a Twitch streamer today, yeah. Okay, can Now for those who are here, right? I will get you guys to try out the next question. Okay, I will go through just the next question. Okay, I will give you all around 5 minutes to do. I'll give you all 7 minutes to try out lah. Okay. Okay, try out the next one. Only the next one. Okay, those who are here, you all done copying this already? Online guys, done copying already? Yes. Yeah, go, 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 go. Don't need tell me. Don't need tell me. It's recorded. Yep. Sorry. Toilet. Yeah. Yes. Why? You won't tell me one thing. Itu aja. But I think you will be the parallel line. So what can you do the parallel line? What about the right? What where? So one thing take each side. For parallel line, you can put side. So inside here, you take two together. So parallel line for one thing, right? Right. Yeah, you're right. But see. Yes, stop. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yes. Go. Okay, let's resume. I have seen enough. Let me check the chat. Okay, the last thing I saw was stomachache. You also stomachache, ah? I saw already lah, that one. Okay, come. For this one over here, right? Angle QRT. Okay, is this angle over here. Alright? How is this angle related to what I have? Now ask yourself, is this angle on a parallel line? Yes or no? Yes, right? So if an angle is on a parallel line, right, you can do this. Okay? You can slide this guy forward and backward, and then tada, you realize that this guy over here is the same as this guy. Agreed? So you're sliding this forward and backward. What property am I using? Yes, corresponding angles are. Okay, thank you. I'm done with this part. Let's move this guy out. Okay, so angle QRT is equals to angle PQU equals to 56 degrees. Okay? Because of corresponding angles. Can? Okay? Where can we view recordings? YouTube. Alright, right? YouTube, right? Okay? Now, part B, find angle QTS. Now, this one got more than one way to find. Okay? But I will show you the fastest one. Now, once again, QTS is over here. Is it on a parallel line? Yes or no? Yes, right? So, I can just use this. Okay, let's use a different color. This. So, I know QTS must be equals to what? TQR because of alternate angles, which is also equals to R. This angle, right? How do I find the angle? How to find? The angle over there, okay? This one over here is inside what kind of shape? Is it inside any kind of shape? What shape is that? Hey, good morning, good morning. Hi, welcome back. Yes. This angle over here is inside what kind of shape? What no? What no? Okay, it's inside a triangle. So how do I find this angle over here? Do I know QRT? I know, right? It's from my previous part, right? So once again, yeah, so it's 180 minus 65 minus 56. Now once again, I use this from the previous part. I use my previous part to help my next part. Okay? So yes, angles are of triangles. Okay, answer is 59 degrees. I know there's another method. Okay, what's the other method? Alternate angles. Okay, my handsome fellow over there, right? There's another method, right? You can use corresponding angles. Okay, so this angle over here below, okay, and this angle, right, they are corresponding. Okay, so this part over here is also 180 minus 56. But then this angle over here, okay, is made up of 65. So then you can just find this angle directly. Okay, now this one, is there any reason why this is this or not? Don't have. Okay, it's just a number, a big angle minus a small angle. So this one don't need reason. Okay, but the easiest one is just this one. I think this is the easiest already. Okay, yes, angles are a triangle. Thank you. Now for part C, QUS. Okay, once again, let me erase everything. Okay, angle QUS is here. Okay, now this is probably the one question that is a bit hard one. So let's go through this together. Okay, wait. Now this angle, right? Is it on a parallel line or not? No. Is it on straight lines that I can use my straight line properties? No. Is it inside a closed shape? Yes. But do I have enough information inside my shapes? Don't have. Have I? What do I have? Okay, so if you have this guy, you have this guy, right? You can find this guy over here. Then you use what? Alternate. So this is a what kind of shape? It's not it's a trapezium. Is it a trapezium? Probably not, right? But I know for sure it's a quadrilateral. So what do I know about quadrilaterals? Sum is always 360. So I can just take everything minus away. Okay, that is the first method. Okay, let me write it down first. Method 1, angle UQT is equals to 180 minus 56 minus 124, I think. Okay. Then, therefore, angle QUS is equals to 360 minus 120 minus 59 minus 65. Right? Okay, equals to 116. Okay, if you don't want to use, there's a few ways to calculate this angle, by the way. Okay, you can also use alternate angles. You don't have to use angles on a straight line. There is multiple reasons. You still must write. But you just choose the one that you're using. Okay? So in this case, if you don't use this method, right, you just directly minus 65, right? Okay, you will get 116 as the answer. Okay? So the reasoning for this one, right, I used two reasons. Okay? Reason number one, I use alternate angles. Okay? Alternate with what? Alternate with this guy. Okay? Wrong. This guy. Okay? So that's how I know that this is 65. Second reason, I use sum of angles in a quadrilateral. Clear? Okay, second reason. Some of you mentioned, sure, can I draw a straight line? Yes. Okay, so if this is the last resort, I usually don't encourage this, right? But this is the last resort, okay? Because notice that on top and at the bottom, you have parallel lines. Okay, so for this case, as long as you can find these two angles respectively, can already. So 56 over here is an alternate angle. This over here is 60, is an interior angle. So you add up, you also get 116. Okay, so this is your part D answer. Then, my front row guys, you understand? Yes, anybody not sure? Let me know. Is that okay? Can Too easy, right? Which method you use? Which method you use for this question? Sorry? The quadrilaterals one. Okay. Now, the one that I just showed you just now, right? The straight line one, right? That is a last resort. Okay? Do not use that unless you really no choice. Okay? I'll leave this for a while, then I'll move on to the next topic already. Yes, must write. Okay, but to answer the question at the back, right? That angle over there, the 56, the 60 something over here, right? Okay, here got many reasons. Wait, got many reasons, right? Okay, you can use alternate angles, you can use angles on the straight line. Okay, so whichever method you use, you must quote. Yes, Matt. Confirm will lah. I think will be tested lah. You mean you never learn? They will test next year. They will not test this year. Then maybe next year lah. But I can tell you, O levels confirm have one. Confirm have. Go. You tell me, you scold me toilet. Can move down like this. Hey, sorry, this is part C, not part D. Can? Isaac, okay? Hey, can I just check anyone here is Sec 2 one? Anyone here is Sec 2? No, right? Okay. Online, I know got some Sec 2s one. I know have one. Okay, again, move on. Okay, this question you're going to try yourself. Okay, now, number patterns. How many of you hate this topic? I see more hands. How many hate this topic? Online. Anybody? Yes. You ask whether got portable charger. No, I don't have. But there's a charger here behind you. You are the one lucky guy to have it. But if you got no charger, too bad. Okay. What phone is your one? Apple. Lightning. You better return to me, ah. If not, my next lesson cannot conduct. I will find you, ah. Okay, come. My favorite chapter. I like it. Okay, come. Number patterns, ah. Okay. Now, if you are given a general pattern, okay, I'm not gonna run through this, ah. Let's go straight into example, lah. Okay, let's take a look at this example over here, ah. Okay. Now, Michael hate this topic. Yes. Is this Michael my regular student, Michael? I think yes, right? Yeah, I know it's not a favorite topic. Okay, 4.1. Can you all flip to example 4.1? You can try the one example if you want to. Oh my god. Then I guess you're gonna show already. Okay, 4.1, right? Each term of the sequence, okay, is formed by subtracting the same number. Okay, so for sec 1, right? This is the most common type of question. Subtract or add the same number. Okay, this is what I also call a linear pattern, where you add or subtract the same number. Okay, so 41 to A to B to C to 25, right? I must minus something. Yes. Okay, I know you know, but can you let me explain? Okay, I'm the teacher, right? Okay, so from 41 to A, right? What number am I subtracting by? Do I know? I don't know, right? But can I put something inside here? Can I put minus D? What cannot? What cannot? Okay, minus D, right? So I know how many D's did I minus? 4, right? 41 minus 4D equals to 25. Therefore, you are solving what kind of equation? Algebra. What kind of algebra is this? Linear equations. Okay, so 4D is equals to 41 minus 25, and therefore D is equals to 41 minus 25 divided by 4. Okay, so the answer is 4. Okay, so your D is 4. Each number you subtract by 4. So very fast. A, B, C, D, your answer. 37, 33, 29. Okay, there's no D, sorry. Okay? Yep, that's right, Franklin. Very good. Okay, anyone got any questions? No, easy, This one easy, right? The next one is difficult. I say difficult because a lot of y'all don't like this question. Okay, but it's a standard question. So let's find out what's going on. Now, in the first term, okay, how many 4s did I minus? I never minus, right? Okay, yes. Oh, no, cause I write too long already. That's why I look like this. Okay, so the first number is 41, right? What's my next number? 37, right? Or what can I write it as? I can also write it as 41 minus what? 4, right? How many times did I minus by? 1 time. Third number, how many times did I minus by? 2 times, right? Okay. Now, fourth number, how many times did I minus by? 3 times, right? 2 times 4, Yeah. Okay, can see? So the first time, right, I never minus anything. Okay? Am I then right to say that I can just minus 4? Okay, wait, let me explain. So your first term, right, you never minus. But the second term, you minus 1 time. Correct? So am I right to say, right, on the nth term, I got 41 minus how many times? Did I minus n times or not? No, right? You ask yourself, at the third number, how many times do you minus? You always minus 1 less than 3, right? So if you have n time, how many times n less than 1? So you will minus n minus 1 time. Agreed? Okay? for students who are not able to come out with this, right, you can always generalize a pattern. Okay? Then what you can do is you simplify this expression. Okay? You just expand and simplify. So the answer is 45 minus 4n. Now, the other variation that I teach you is that you can do the following. Okay? If you know every term is going to be minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, right? Then I will have something minus 4n. Okay? Equals to your tn, right? You can then go and find out what this question mark is. Okay? But this method a bit confusing lah. I think I don't want to teach this today lah. Okay? Do we need to write out the general pattern, the pattern first before writing the general formula? Don't need. As long as you're able to show very clearly how to prove it, can already. This is just a guide for you to see. Okay, to see, Okay, another way is what you can do. You can just take the first term, you minus 4n, right? Then you plus 4. Yes. Okay, you can always just take the first term, minus 4n, then you plus the number that you minus off. That is another way of doing it. Okay, if you want a general formula, right, you can always write first term, okay, plus n minus 1 times the difference. Okay, there is a general formula for this lah. Okay, or some of you will tell me, can I put an plus b equals to tn or not? Also can. Then you go solve for a and b. Okay, so go quite a few ways. Y minus 1 and where the 4 come from? Okay, so basically, right, in each term you minus 4, right? It's repeated. You minus 4, minus 4, minus 4. Okay, if you minus 4 n times, right, then isn't it just minus 4n? Does that make sense? How did it become plus? Where the plus come from? This one. No, that's just a general formula. Okay, whether it's a plus or minus, right, depends on whether you are adding or subtracting. Does that make sense? Yes. How do you use that? Actually, I don't teach this one also because it's more of Sect 2 technique lah. But if you really want, your school teach that, okay. If you really want to use this, right, the way to do it is ask yourself, what is your first term? D become plus, no what? 45 minus 4n what? Did I put plus? No what, it's minus I never become plus Why 4n plus 4? Where did plus 4 come from? There's no plus 4 what? Oh, the plus 4, or this plus 4 Okay, because you expand out this one. That's why it become minus 4n plus 4. You are just expanding that part and simplifying. Clear? Now for those, right, who want to use your an plus b equals to tn, right, this is how you do it, okay? So you need to ask yourself, t1 is the first term, right? When is the first term? Okay, 41, right, when n equals to 1. So you can substitute and you get a plus b equals to 41, right? Then, if you have T2 equals to what? T2 is equal to 37, right? And that is when n is equals to 2. Agreed? So for this one, right, you will then have 2a plus b equals to 37, right? Agreed? So for those who use this method, I assume you all learn simultaneous equation, right? Yes? So then you can use elimination method. You will find that a is equals to minus 4. And then you sub this back into your a, right? You will then get b equals to 45. Therefore, 45 minus 4n is equals to tn. That is the method that you all learn if you all use simultaneous. Okay, so this one, right, got many ways of doing it. But the easiest one, right, I think is to just come up with the general pattern. Okay? Can? Okay, there's too many methods for this, but I will just clamp down to this one. Can? Okay, next. Once we establish already that our general formula is 45 minus 4n. This is my general formula, right? Agreed? Can I just do a quick check? Everybody okay or not? Who not okay? Is everyone okay? Can I have a thumbs up if okay? You are not okay, is it? Okay, So the rest okay, Online guys, anyone dying, not don't really understand what's going on? Yeah, I think can, Those online one, you're okay already? Confirm okay, I tell you what, later you ask me again. Okay, I will go through another example, so don't worry about it. Can? Now, assume that we know the general term. Okay, 45 minus 4n, right? Okay. Now, I want to find the 12th term of the sequence. What do I do when I want to find the 12th term of the sequence? Okay, I'm finding n is equals to 12, right? So T12, right? You're finding T12, right? So when n is equals to 12, right? T12 is equals to just sub in your n. What you are doing over here is just sub in the n. Agreed? So therefore, 45 minus 4 times 12. Answer is minus 3. Okay? Okay, for those who don't understand, next question I will go through again. Don't worry. Okay, now for part D, explain why negative 321 is not a term of this sequence. Okay, so for this type of question, it's like telling me, okay, you're asking a potato, are you an apple? What? Why? Why is it not an apple? But you need to rigorously explain to me why is it not an apple? Why is it not an apple, right? Okay, so something that you can talk about color. Color don't match, right? Apple is red color. Potato what color? Brown, green. What kind of potato you think, bro? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this one of purple. Okay, maybe sweet potato. Okay, so explain why negative 321 is not a term of the sequence. You assume that the guy is a potato first. Yeah, sure. Okay, so explain what. So you need to assume that it's a potato first. Then try to prove, okay, that it is not a potato because color don't match. Okay, so you will assume that negative 321 is a member of the term. So it must share the general formula, right? Because it's a general, it's part of the general sequence, right? So I will equate it to negative 45 minus 4n. Okay? Then what's my goal? I have this, right? What's the first thing I think of? Yes. You got something equals to something plus n. What am I trying to do over here? Specifically, you're finding n, right? Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Can n be an integer? Can n be a decimal? Why cannot? Okay. Because yes, you cannot have a 1.5 term. What is a 1.5 term? In between. There's no in between term. It's either a term or not a term. There's no in between. Right? So 4n is equals to 45 plus 321. N is, and actually, okay, 45 plus 321 divided by 4, right? Answer is 91.5. So once again, since n is not an integer, therefore, yes, reverse the formula. Okay, therefore, 321 negative is not a term in sequence. Okay, keyword not integer, therefore not a term. Okay, let me use a lighter color. Okay. So this type of question is you must assume it's a potato first. Then you red color one. How are you a potato? You are playing Among Us. What toilet? Go lah. Can see or not? Can see Okay, for those who don't understand, right? Next question I will go through again. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, I just need to expose you all a little bit first. Then I'll tie down to one method. So I think at least everybody know what y'all don't understand, right? Alisa, okay, right? So far. Okay, can I move on already? You guys are done? Is anyone drawing anything? Okay, Okay. Must you write positive integer? Yes. Can your term number be negative or not? Like can the sequence, the n term be negative or not? Or rather, can the n be negative? Cannot what? Right? You cannot have a pattern that goes in the reverse direction. Okay? Generally, we don't. Okay? You will always start with either 0 or 1. For set 1, you'll start with 1. Okay? Alright. Positive integer. Okay. Good point, good point. Yes, let's write that down. Okay, can? Let's move on. Okay, I will go through one more question. Okay. 4.2, I will just go through very quickly because 4.2, right? Okay, sometimes you'll be asked this kind of question. This type of question is a must score one because they give you the general formula already. You can always work with it. Okay? So T1, T2, T3, T4, right, is written as 1 squared minus 0 squared, 2 squared minus 1 squared, right? You notice, you need to look very carefully. What, in each of these terms, right, what changes, what didn't change? Right? So in the first row, okay, let's zoom in. T1, right? I got 1 squared, 0 squared, right? Equals to 1. Okay? In the next one, T squared is equal to 2 squared, 1 squared, right? Guys, from T1 to T2, right? What changed? What did not change? Okay? So, right, the square, did the square change or not? Did the power change or not? No, right? Pattern, these two, did it change or not? No, right? Never change, right? Then what about the 1? 1 changed to what? 1 changed to what? 2, right? Then 0 changed to what? 1. Okay, Emma, I answered your question already, right? I a bit lost of track one, okay? So yes, 1 change to 2, 0 change to 1. Okay? Now, in the next term, 2 to 3, right? Once again, did the power change or not? No, the powers never changed, Then what changed? What changed over here? Good. What? What 2? Plus 2? Okay, the previous has 2, right? Change to what? The base 2 over here changed to 3. Agreed? And the 1 changed to 2, right? Or you mean from T1 change to T3? Is that what you meant? You mean here change to here? Oh, I never bothered about that side. Okay, but that side got change, right? The 1357 is not constant, right? It's changing, right? You mean like that? Is it? Is it? So plus 2 lah, plus 4 lah. Is it? Just plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? Is that what you're saying? Or oh, you're already talking about part A, I'm not there yet. Don't jump so fast, okay? Because I'm still trying to explain what's going on. So from 2 to 3, right? Okay, I plus 1, right? Then from 3 to 4, what happened? Same thing. The power never changed, but the 3 changed to 4, right? Then ask yourself, okay, in each term, right? The number that changed, right? How did it change? Okay? So if you look very carefully, right? The 1 changed to 2. Okay? We look at the T1, T2 first. T1 changed to T2, right? And inside the middle term, okay, I have the one over here, okay, this one, right, follows the one over here. Agreed? But this zero, right, how is it related to one? Is one more than one or one less than one? Less, right? So isn't this the same as 1 minus 0? And see or not? Wrong. 1 minus 1. Right? Then what about this one over? What about this one over here? Is 2 minus 1, right? 3 minus 1, right? 4 minus 1, right? So can you see? This 4 already, right? I link to this 4 and this 4 over here. Agreed? Now can you see the pattern? Can see already, right? So for T6, right, it will just be 6 squared minus what? Very good, because it's 6 minus 1. So this is equals to 11. For part B, once you figure this out already, right, they ask you to find Tn, right, you will obviously know that if I change the 4 into n, I will have Tn equals to n squared minus n minus 1 squared. Agreed? Everybody can see? Online can see? Sarah, teacher can see, right? Did I call your name already? What's your name again? Jia Xuan. Oh my god. Sorry. Okay, so it's n squared minus n minus 1. Everybody agree with this, huh? Who say no? Oh, yeah, okay, can. Okay, now, do you need to simplify or not? What do you think? Need to simplify or not? Okay? This question, if I'm not wrong, is don't need to simplify lah. Okay, this is good enough already. Okay? So, I have just taught you how to recognize the patterns. Okay, we'll do that in the next question, huh? So, next. Explain with calculation whether 120 is a term of this sequence. Why? Okay, so this one, what you need to do, right, is you need to expand first. Okay, so you expand first. Okay, and then you simplify. You will then have 2n minus 1. Right? But the thing is, right hand side is an even or odd number. 2n, right, means it's a multiple of. If you have 2n, 2n is a multiple of what? 2, right? So what is 2n minus 1? Odd number. Clear? Shine, okay? Clear, huh? So this is odd number. Right hand side is even number. Possible or not? Not possible, right? So you can conclude 120 is even, which cannot be 2n minus 1 odd. Therefore, no such term. Okay, for some of you ask me, sure, can I just solve for n or not? Yes, you can still solve for n. You can still tell me that n is not an integer, positive integer. Therefore, not a sequence of the term. Okay, so like that. 可以吗? Okay, can I'll leave this for a while. Huh? Okay, now that you all know how to recognize the pattern, right? I will show you in the next example. Yeah, zoom in. Okay. And I will show you in the next example, right? How do you use the pattern recognition to generate the pattern? Okay, so I'll just show you very quickly. Yeah. Okay, can I move on? No, okay. Online guys, everyone okay? 2n minus 1 is an even number. It is even NO. What's NO? I think you get the idea lah. But yes. Wenze, thank you for answering. Well, the chat is very helpful also. I really love it. Yes. Potato can be green when you spoil, right? When the potato is spoiled, right? Then what? You another one genetically modified. Can I see B? Okay, can. Okay, then next time I don't use potatoes already. Then next time I ask, can Matt be... I don't disturb you. No, oh, you mean why don't need to simplify, huh? According to the answer key that I saw on the school website, they left it like that. Okay? They didn't ask you to simplify, so it's okay to leave it like that. Does that answer your question? So, okay, if you want to, you can always simplify as 2n minus 1. I think there's no issue. But this question, they never ask you to simplify. So it's okay. Can? Can. But if you want, just simplify. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Oh? Because if you ask me, right, it really depends on the phrasing of the question also. Okay, and what the question is asking you to achieve. What they are hoping that you will achieve. Right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, I will just do this question very quickly. Okay, same thing. Next page, next page. Okay, 74, right? I go down to x. Okay, I minus the same number each time. Okay, so once again, how many D's? How many? How many D's do I have, guys? 4, So 74 minus 4D is equals to 46. So solve. You will get... Say again? 7. Oh my god, y'all with the 6, 7 again. It's 7, not 6, 7. Oh, why is 6, 7? Oh, x is 6, 7. Yo, damn it. Okay, so x is just minus 7, Wow, the chat. Oh my goodness. I had enough of you guys. No. Stop it. You see lah, you started it, right? Okay, now write a simplified expression in terms of n, right? For the n term of the sequence. Now, once again, let's start off with a pattern recognition. So, hey, Raphael, stop. I'm going to start removing people already. Okay, 74, right, is the first term. Second term is what? 74 minus 1 times of 7. Agreed? Third term, okay, or let's just put Tn. Okay, let's just put Tn, T1, T2, T3. Okay, T4. Now, if you all recognize this, right, you all will then know, right, that this is the same as 0 times 7. Agreed? And what can I write it as in terms of 1? 0 is the same as what minus 0? Or what? Or 1 minus what? Okay? How can I change it to 1? To write it in terms of 1? I just write 1 minus 1. Agreed? Can see? Can or not? Then this one over here, 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1, 4 minus 1. So what is Tn, guys? Replace all the 4s with what? N. Okay? Therefore, I have 74 minus n minus 1 times 7. Expand and simplify. Okay, so 74 minus 7n plus 7. Therefore, equals to 81 minus 77n. Now, is this better for all of you? Is this easier to understand? Yes or no? Yes, anybody still don't understand? I 千辛万苦 go through this question, so that you guys can understand. Online guys, okay? Is it better for you guys? Okay, some people ask Emma, all that. Okay, you all understand already? Let me know. Great. Okay, so generally what you can do is just replace the 0 with 1 minus 1, 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1. Then always ask yourself, if I replace my numbers with n, right, what happened? From there you simplify. That will probably be a bit easier. Okay? Can? Now, same thing. These two I won't go through because it's the same thing already. Okay, we've done this many times already, so I don't need to go through this again. Can? Okay, so the most important thing is how you find your Tn. Once you know how to find your Tn already, right, then you all will know what to do already. So, can Okay, guys, just check in, right? We are down to 15 minutes of the lesson, but I probably will end a bit late. Okay, the next one, right, is on. Wait, is there still copying? Yes. I try to end at 1 lah, but maybe cannot lah. I also got a class later, so I confirm must end before 1:15. Confirm must end before that. Okay, but if anyone needs to go, right, go ahead. It's recorded. What? Huh? You ask me something, then you harm me, ah? You problematic, are you? Okay, let's move on to the last part of this lesson. Okay, I promise I will try to finish this as fast as I can, but I do not want to compromise the quality of my lesson. Okay, so I just try to explain it as much as I can. Now, for percentage change, okay, percentage change, always ask yourself, okay, it's called percentage change because I'm comparing the change, right, from the what happened before. So you will realize, right, that on top is change compared to your original. Okay? Then this is the percentage you multiply by 100%. Therefore, the formula for percentage change, right, is the final value minus the initial value. That will give my change. Right? Because you just imagine, if now I got $10, next time I got $20, did I earn or did I lose money? How do I calculate? Okay, the one, I think the explanation behind I heard is more correct, okay? You are taking the final one minus the before one. Okay, the final value is 20, right? You minus off 10. You always take the final value minus the initial value. Then let me ask you guys, okay? If I take $15, now I become $5. Did I earn or lose money? Lose, right? How you calculate? Right? So 5 minus 15, right, means it's negative 10, right? You are in debt. That's why negative. So same thing. You always take final minus initial. That's why the formula is always your final minus initial. Some of y'all is final minus original. Okay? There's many versions. But this is my version lah. Okay? And you always compare it to what you have at the start. So on below, it will be initial, then times 100%. Okay? So same thing, if your percentage change is negative, it's a percentage decrease. Okay? If it's a positive value, it's a percentage what? What? Percentage what? Don't try, leh. Thank you. Wow, my brave man over there. Okay? Percentage increase. Okay. Now, selling price and cost price. The only thing I can tell you is same thing. You sell first, right? Okay? Selling price, cost price, right? Y'all just focus on this part over here. Okay? If your selling is more than your cost, is less than your cost, right? Sorry. Your selling is more than your cost, right? Means you will profit what? Okay, so just remember. You always remember selling minus cost. You always aim to earn money. Okay, so you always remember selling minus cost first. Then divide by whatever this thing is. Okay, this one, right, the denominator, right, it depends on the question already. Whether they say profit selling price, profit of selling price or profit of cost price. Okay, that one is based on question already. Now for discount and mark and commission, that one is very straightforward lah. I won't run through this one too much in detail. Okay, same thing for GST and service charge. Let me ask you guys a question. Okay, this one will be very fun, Now, let's say I buy a $10 food, $10 meal, $10, funny okay, $10, right? If okay, $10 food, okay, $10 meal lah, okay. So I ask you guys a question. GST stands for what? Goods and service tax. So if I buy anything that's a goods or a service, you go massage, is it a service or not? You go massage, service or not? Service, right? You go restaurant, the waiter serve you, service or not? Service, right? So service and goods, right? Your goods is what? Your fried rice lah. You go fried rice, you go KL ah. Oh, nice or not? Oh, okay. So guys, you buy fried rice or you go massage. Okay, got GST one Okay. The what? Tuition got GST or not? Yes, confirm have. Unless they very nice to absorb the GST lah. Okay, it's a service, right? I'm providing you guys a service. I'm not providing you guys food I'm providing you guys service Okay, so okay, but this one is free event So if it's free, then is there any GST or not? No lah. Okay, of course not lah. Okay, so you only charge GST right onto things that you all purchase. But what about service charge? Okay, service charge is usually service charge of your food, of your restaurant food lah. Okay, when you buy food, the waiter serve you that kind of things, right? You pay for the food, and part of the food will form your service. Okay, it's not a part of it, it's an add-on Okay, so usually they'll tell you that okay, I'm applying a 10% service charge, right? So you are paying the base price plus the 10%. Clear? So total what vending machine? Vending machine got no GST. Absorb already. Okay? Okay, let's be clear. If the question never say GST, there is no GST involved. If they got say right, then you use. Can? Okay. The correct answer is if the company never absorb GST, right, there is no GST that you need to pay. But in math, if they never say GST, don't bother. If they got say, then you add it in. Can? Does that make sense? If they never tell you, then you calculate for what? Like that, every question you GST. You come on die what? Okay? So for GST and service charge, always remember, you must calculate service charge first. Then your GST is the GST of the goods and the service together. So usually we'll put times 110%, then we times 109%. Okay? Now, this formula over here must remember, and you must also apply it to your hire purchase. Can? Now, hire purchase, anyone don't understand what's hire purchase? Okay. So let me dumb down this one for you guys. Why pay interest? I ask you, if I borrow $1,000 from you guys, you happy or not? I borrow $1,000 from you guys, you happy or not? No, right? So you must return me eventually. No lah, whoever, like if you borrow, you must return the fella, right? Okay, but the borrower, he expects you to return with an interest. Because that money, he could have eaten Mr. Uncle Roger's fried rice. Or he can go and play, he can go and buy many ML skins. But you take the money away from him so he cannot buy. So of course he will charge you interest lah, right? Okay, so any money that you didn't pay immediately can be subject to interest. But if they never mention anything about interest rate, is there interest? Don't have. Okay, so a higher purchase fraction, right, can have no interest rate also. Please take note of that. It is possible for higher purchase fractions, right, to not have any interest rate. Possible. What do you mean? Okay, in the business context, if they choose to not charge you interest for the, let's say iPhone, right? Okay, you all may have noticed that iPhone, right, you don't need to pay money for the interest. If let's say you pay every month. How I know? I don't know. I actually don't know. Okay, but once upon a time, I know don't need to charge interest one. Okay, so there are some certain circumstances, right, whereby you don't need to charge interest one. Can? Okay, so now I will just go through example 5.1. If I have time, I'll go through 5.2. Okay? Now, Tom, Jane, and Harry had dinner in the restaurant. They ordered $108 worth of food and decided to pay in the ratio of 4:2:3. Now, the total bill of the dinner includes a 10% service charge and a service tax, a GST of 8%. Okay, they ask you to find the total cost of dinner. Yes. What? Nokia handphone Funny Okay, so Basically, if they want the total cost of dinner inclusive of service charge and GST, right, all you have to do is to take 108, right? You first ask yourself, what is the amount you pay for the service plus the food? You take 110%. Then you add in your GST, 108%. Equals 128.30. Finish. That's your answer. Okay? This is 2 DP, by the way. Money is 2 DP. Okay? Then calculate how much more Harry had compared to Jane. Yes. Come. Oh, sorry. Damn, I hear wrong already. Okay. Calculate how much more Harry had to pay compared to Jane. So ask ourselves, Harry is how many unit? Okay. TJH. Harry is which one? 4, 3 or 4, 2 or 3? 3, right? Then Jane is 2, right? So I want 1 unit. But I have what? If I have 128.3, right? That is my total, right? So I need to ask myself, what is the total number of units? And that is 9 units. Okay, so that is 128.30, right? So I need to find 1 unit. And the answer is 14.26. That's it. Okay, right? Why you look so shocked? Oh, you cannot see, But okay? Can So this one is actually quite common sense one. Okay? Now, if let's move on to part C. If a restaurant offered a 15% discount, how much less would Tom have paid? Basically, first thing you need to do, right, is to find out how much did Tom pay first. Okay, and Tom is how many units? Tom, how many units? 4, right? So I need to find 4 units first. 57.024. Okay? Okay, if you're asking me how I get the values to be like that, right? I use the exact value by SF. Okay? But then, how much less would Tom have paid? When I ask you how much less, right? Am I calculating the discounted value or the amount of discount that he could have not paid? So in other words, right? Am I calculating 85% or 15%? Who say 85? Who say 15? Read very carefully, How much less? How much less? Means originally you pay how many percent? 100, right? Now, if I give you discount, how much do you pay? 85, right? So how much less? 15%. I am not calculating 85. I'm calculating 15%. Clear? Clear? Okay. So therefore, 15% is $855, 2 DP. Okay. That's it for all 3 parts. Okay. If you all need to rush off, you all can go first. Okay. I will go through one more question, then I'll call it a day already. Can? Those who need to go, you all go off first. Okay, I will leave this for a while. Okay, come let's go through the last question. Okay, I want to go through this. And by the way, it's 5.2, not 5.3. Okay, so a laptop is priced at 2300 inclusive of GST. Okay, thanks guys. Okay, inclusive of GST. They ask you to calculate the mark price of the laptop. Okay, so for mark, got answer key for extra question? Yes, sir. Okay, answer sheet. Wait. Okay, if you need answer key, I put it over here first. Okay, now calculate the mark price of the laptop. Okay, is as follows. Originally, this includes GST, right? Therefore, If I want to calculate the mark price, please, I'm finding the original price. Agreed? Agree, right? Okay, those who need to go, your go first. Answer key is there. Can? Now, if I want to find the value before GST, right? Okay, ask yourself. Originally is 108%. Agree? Agree, right? Therefore, I want to find how many percent now? Cheyenne? How many percent? Okay, this is if I want to find without GST, right, means how many percent? 100, right? Okay, so 100% is just A wrong. Okay, let me see. Where is my calculator? Wait. I think my answer key got error. Okay, never mind. This one I check again. But if it's inclusive, okay, wait. I do it this way instead. Okay, I do it this way instead. Now, originally is I don't know what, right? But I need to multiply by 108%, right? To get my laptop price. Agreed? So in order to get my original price, I need to divide. Okay, so this will be equal to 2300 divided by 108%. Okay? Which is 2129. I think my answer key is a bit different. Okay, I need to check on that one first. Okay, I don't know whether it's I copy wrongly or what. Okay, but that is my part A. Okay? I got a feeling I copied the wrong question or the answer key got error from the school. Okay, now let's look at part B. This part, once I'm done already, right, can go already. Okay, so Michelle buys a laptop on hire purchase. Now, when she buy the laptop, right, will she have bought the laptop with the GST or without? What do you think? Do you think she bought the laptop with the GST or don't have? With, right? Okay, she has to pay for the GST, right? So, if you draw the whole thing, right, okay, this whole thing is 2300. Okay, so how many percent down payment? 25%. The remaining is 75%, right? So this amount, the 75%, because I'm paying on a monthly basis, that part is subject to my tax. Okay, and my tax, right, is at 5% per annum. Okay, and I'm doing this over 2 years. Okay, so total amount of interest to be paid over 2 years. First thing first, I need to find my 75% first. Okay, so 75%, right, is 1725. That is my 75%. Clear? Okay? Clear? Then next, 1725. Okay? I need to calculate my interest. Okay? What formula do you use to calculate interest, guys? Interest only got one formula, right? What's that formula? P. You need to know this formula. Okay, it's PRT over 100. Okay? So this is equals to 2 times 1725 times 0 times 5 over 100. The answer is 172.5. That is my answer. Okay? And therefore, if this is my interest, right, her monthly installment is the 75% plus the interest. Then, because I'm paying in 2 years, if I want to find monthly repayment, right, I need to divide by 2. Correct or wrong? 1 year, I'm calculating 2 years, right? But I'm finding yearly repayment or monthly repayment. Yeah, BRT, yes. Am I finding monthly repayment or yearly repayment? Say again? Monthly. So, do I divide by 2 or not? No, right? Ask yourself, 1 year, how many months? 12, right? So 2 years, how many months? 24. So you take 2 times 12. Therefore, your final answer is 79.06. Okay? Now, with that, I'm done. But I'm going to do a bit of things first. I will just be quick. I just need around 3 or 4 more minutes of my time. Okay? So, I will leave this answer for you guys to copy. For those who need to go, right? Okay, those who need to go, you all can go already, please. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a bit of things, right? For my lesson. Okay, those who really need to go, you all can go. It's okay. But let me do a bit of sharing. Okay. Now, next year, right, I will be teaching Sec 2, Sec 3, and Sec 4. Yeah, I mean, this is a Sec 1 class, right? So next year will be what? Sec 2. Correct? So, of course, we already opened registration for next year already, 2026. Okay, so next year, I have Sec 2 classes. They will be open. Okay, you will get the following. So, if you sign up for my class, right, yeah, or any of our classes, right, okay, you will get some curated note. You will get curated notes for the subject you're signing up for. Okay, and you will also get certain things lah. Okay, my class, I will do summary for your one and stuff like that. Okay, E I haven't passed you yet. Okay, you wait first. Okay. Now, anybody here want full scale paper or not? You already got already, Okay, if anybody want full scale paper, come and find me later. I will let you go and scan this one. Okay, but otherwise, for sign ups, right? Okay, this is your early interest form. Okay, you can go and sign up for the classes over here lah. You can go and scan this one first if anyone's interested. Okay, some early, and by the way, this thing, right, is it's not a sign up thing. You must sign up lah. Okay, so we have some perks over here, right? Okay, we have some cashback over here and some registration. We have a registration fee that's waived off, right? Okay. So there is this option whereby you can log in these privileges. If you, let's say you don't know whether you want to sign up, bye guys. Okay, you don't know whether you want to sign up or not. Okay, you can always go and indicate your interest first. Okay. Thank you, thank you. Toddler is there. Stretch is behind. Okay. Awkward. Okay. Then if let's say you want to sign up already, right? Then you can go. You can just log in. You can just indicate your interest first lah. Okay. Now answer key I show you already, right? This is my regular classes for next year. Okay, so if anyone wants to sign up, you can go and sign up first. Okay. Okay, otherwise, right, for my online kids, right, you can go already. Okay, for my physical guys, thank you for coming. Okay, I will see y'all when I see y'all lah. Okay, peace. 676767. Okay, thanks.
All left with
The key I will show y'all. Y'all give me a while. Hey, bye, thanks. Okay, online kids, thanks. Okay, I will show you the answer key. Okay, here. Hey, guys online, please answer key for extra questions. I have the final answer as well. I have done the solutions. But if y'all really want to, I can go and do it for you guys lah. Okay? Right. Thanks for coming. I will see y'all when I see y'all. Okay? Okay, if not, y'all can go already. Thanks. It's all working, but I think no point to divide, right? Oh, that's all. Oh, we have regular and take it up. My second one to work like. Yeah, I have that. Oh, then you. Oh, let's see where. Oh, and then you give out. And hi, you're coming back. Yeah. Give me a while, Okay, for those online, I will stop already, Okay, see you all next time. Bye bye.